Alright, in today's video, I'm gonna show you my response to a mock test of IELTS Writing Task 2. Hi, this is Suguru and I have gotten 8.5 in IELTS Writing. Are you ready? Now let's read my response. Okay, you are looking at the first body paragraph of my writing. In this video, we are not going to look at the introduction and concluding paragraphs, just the body paragraphs. And please understand that I wrapped up this writing in 40 minutes, so I might have made some mistakes along the way. Okay, let's go. In a way, it is favorable to have friends who have different sets of values from our own. The reason is the range of perspectives we would not think of if we spent the whole time with like-minded people. When I was a college student, I often spent time by myself. Never was I a partygoer. One day, however, one of my floormates pulled me out of my room and took me to a karaoke bar, which was absolutely not a place I would go to by myself. So this was a whole new experience for me. Simply put, someone sitting next to you who knows places that you don't know can broaden your horizons, and if you are young, this can change your life. There seems to be no spelling mistakes in this paragraph, that's fine. Let's move on to the next body paragraph. In contrast, matrimony might be another story. Choosing a marriage partner who shares similar values on life with you will be immensely important for you to maintain your matrimonial life for good. For example, one of my friends got married 10 years ago. However, his marriage almost collapsed when he found that while he wanted to purchase a spacious house in the countryside, his wife dreamed of spending her whole life in an urban condominium. This episode made me realize that having heated arguments over basic things in life, such as where to live and where to send children to school, can be very stressful in marriage life. I found one typo, matrimonial, correct that. Finally, the last body paragraph. Despite the episode in the previous paragraph, I am not against the diversity of ideas because a combination of brain children can be a key to creativity. This is especially true in business situations. A case in point is how the Post-it note was first created. When an employee's idea of a glue that is not sticky enough, and another employee's intention to bookmark his book without damaging his book were combined, the outstanding invention of the Post-it came into being, thereafter selling millions of units globally every year. In the Japanese language, there is a proverb, 3 brains bring expert knowledge. The fact that no two people think the same way is an asset to human society, and therefore we should make the most of each other's creativity whenever we can. This paragraph does not contain any spelling mistakes either, that's fine. Now I'll teach you some of the vocabulary that I used today so that you can use it in your next test. First, from the first body paragraph. Like-minded. Like-minded. Like-minded people are people who share similar or almost the same ideas, values, and preferences. Like-minded. Broaden your horizons. Broaden your horizons. This is a good phrase to use in writing and speaking tests. If something or someone broadens your horizons, it means they make you see or experience a big world that you probably have never seen. Broaden your horizons. There's some other nice vocabulary in the second body paragraph. Matrimony. Matrimony. Matrimony means getting married. Matrimony. Another story. Another story. If something is another story, it means it's totally different from something that you have just talked about. For example, if you catch a cold, you shouldn't worry too much. But if you have cancer, that's another story. Which means having cancer is completely different from catching a cold, because it's much more serious. Alright, now let's think about my response based on one of these 4 scoring components. Today I want to focus on grammatical range and accuracy. To get a high score here, you should use a variety of sentence structures. In other words, sentence structures that most other test takers would not use. Let's look at this sentence. Never was I a party goer. Never was I a party goer. Do you understand what's happening here grammatically? It's essentially the same as I was never a party goer. Here's the deal. If you put a negative word, like never, at the beginning of a sentence, the order of the subject word and the verb get reversed. In other words, it's the negative word, the verb, and the subject word. Got that? Let me show you some other example sentences if you are still confused. Never will I do that again. Never will I do that again. It's essentially the same as I will never do that again. Never is placed first. So it's followed by the verb and then the subject word. Another example. Little did I dream you would move overseas. Little did I dream you would move overseas. Little did I dream. Americans often use this sentence, so you should get used to this. Little did I dream means I never thought. Little is a negative word, so when it's put at the beginning of a sentence, it's followed by did I dream, not I dreamed. This writing response I wrote contains 373 words, and this does not include the intro and the conclusion paragraphs. Quite the average for me. Alright, I hope you found this video useful. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, let me wish you good luck on your test.